What's up guys, and welcome back to the series. It's episode 4 and this is the rest day. Doesn't sound too exciting, but I thought I'd leave it in because it is a crucial part of the process of building muscle and transforming your physique. So I'm going to take you through just a typical day of what I do on a rest day and some important points which I think is worth noting when it comes to rest and recovery. So it's day 4 of my split. The first 3 days I've been to the gym and I've been pushing myself pretty damn hard. I've been lifting heavy weights, almost going to failure in every single set. So that's a lot of stress which I'm placing upon my body, and I can't continuously do that day after day, okay? There needs to be time allocated for recovery. So that's what I'll be doing today. That's the focus of today, right? I want to put my body in a state of calm and relaxation so that I'm prepared to go and smash another 3 days of consecutive training. So this beautiful spot at the Azzaro Hotel is probably one of my favourite places on the island. It is so peaceful. It's like north of the island, right in the middle of the countryside. And I'll probably come here about once a week. I'll come here just to change up the scenery because obviously I'm sick of being in my apartment all the time. So it's nice to be out balls deep in nature. And I'll usually just bring my laptop, do a bit of work, switch off, chill out, tan, eat some good food, maybe get a massage, maybe go for a swim. There's a load of things you can do here, but it does really feel like every time I come here, I'm completely recharged. And one of the perks at the moment as well is there's not really that many tourists on the island, so I do kind of feel like I've got this place completely to myself. So obviously since I've come here, I'm not exactly going to bring some prepped food because they would kick me right out. So I've ordered something from the menu. I have gone for the steak, a nice decent chunk with some potatoes there. I knew the vegetables on the side wasn't going to be in abundance, so I got an additional side plate of roasted vegetables, organic, fresh from the garden. And Louis got a lentil salad. So all healthy. Obviously I'm not going to be able to track the calories and the macros and so on, but I would just take a rough guess. Right, so in terms of activity on a rest day, I don't really want to be doing anything which is going to put my body under too much stress. Obviously the focus of this day is to rest and recover, so I don't want my heart rate to be too high for an extended period of time. But at the same time, I do want to do something. I feel like if I don't do any kind of activity of some form, I feel like lazy. I miss that feeling of accomplishment. I like to feel good after doing some form of activity. So I have 3 options, which I'll usually choose on a rest day. Option 1, because I'm in a nice country, it's nice and warm, I will go for a long walk, a hike, or most commonly, a walk along the beach, probably for like an hour and a half. Right, very chilled out. Option 2, I don't really do it as often, but sometimes I'll do it if I want to do it swimming, either in the sea or up and down the lengths of the pool. I'll usually do it like 15 minutes at a time, 3 rounds, that'll burn a couple hundred calories. The most common option which I'll do will be walking on a treadmill, on an incline, where my heart rate is around 130 beats per minute. I don't really want to have my heart rate elevated more than that. Okay, so rapid fire Q&A. I'm going to answer some questions which I get on a regular basis. The first one, when should I take a rest day? How often? I think it's dependent upon the individual and how hard they're pushing themselves, but I'd say after 3 consecutive days of training, you should really be thinking about having a rest day. But I think it comes down to intensity. Like if you go to the gym and let's say, for example, you're not really pushing yourself that hard, you're not pushing to failure, then you could train day after day without necessarily needing a rest day in between. But for me, because I'm training pretty goddamn intense and I am pushing myself to failure on a regular basis, I've kind of figured out that every 3rd or 4th day, that's when I should be having a rest day. Other question, how do I get rid of DOMs? Well, resting. There isn't really a huge amount you can do. I think some people think that just magically massaging them or eating something or drinking something is just going to make them disappear. It takes time. Okay, you've basically damaged the muscle and it's sore. and it needs to be repaired. So if you're in a situation where you feel as though your entire body is just sore or the soreness won't go away, then the quickest way to kind of speed that process of healing up and rebuilding muscle tissue is just to rest, okay? Good sleep, being hydrated, proper nutrition, high quality, getting your protein intake at a suitable level as well. And it may be the case that you just need to take a full-on rest day. But I still get DOMs on a regular basis, particularly when I train legs and a couple of the muscle groups. Like, if I have really smashed my legs, I'll have DOMs for 3 days, but I like that. I'm not complaining. DOMs is a good sign most of the time. How do you know if you're overtrained? Usually, this is just my experience, I find I'm overtrained when my motivation to actually go to the gym is quite low, or either I'm in the gym and I feel as though it's just like really tough. I can't get a pump, my strength is low, and usually sometimes I have like quite flu-like symptoms where my nose is maybe a bit blocked, and I feel like my temperature's usually a little bit higher than it normally is. So that's usually a sign where you should probably just not train. Okay, it's kind of hard. You need to make sure you're not just being straight up lazy and that you are actually tired and you are due a rest day. So you need to know the difference. But for me, I'm at a point now where I'm like, yep, I should really be taking a rest day today. It can be after 2 days of training. Like if I've absolutely killed myself 2 days in a row, then maybe on the third day I'll just take a rest day. Which leads me on to my next question. Do I ever train more than 3 days in a row? Sometimes. A lot of the time I want to train every day, but like I said before, I want to make sure that my recovery is on point. If I've been sleeping good, I've been eating good, and I wake up and I'm like super pumped to go to the gym and I've got loads of energy, then I'll just go. But I'll make sure that maybe after 4 consecutive days of training, then that following day I will have a rest day. But most of the time I try my best to be disciplined and have that rest day after 3 consecutive days of training. So I'm back at the house after a very relaxing day. One thing which I did not talk about at all was nutrition and what I eat on a rest day. Usually it's the same. It might be a few hundred calories less because I'm currently I'm not exactly bulking or trying to grow. I'm trying to stay like lean and aesthetic. So the days when I don't train, I eat a little bit less, even though I'm doing a bit of cardio, light cardio on top. So on a morning, I don't eat anything. I intermittent fast till about 1 or 2 o'clock. That's just something I like to do on a rest day. I feel like intermittent fasting can have some positive benefits, but let's not get too much into that. So the first meal I had was at Zaro Hotel. The second meal I'll have is 2 scoops of my protein vegan blend, and then a couple hours after that I'll have an omelette, and then final meal of the day, which is now, is the salmon, the rice, and the broccoli. So I would say roughly, estimating my calorie intake is about 2,500 to 2,750 calories. So training day is about 3,000. So it's about 250 calories left. It's not exact, but whilst I've been out there, I've just been doing some intuitive eating and estimating my calories because I've been doing this for a long time and I'm getting pretty good at guessing. So that is that. That is my rest day. I'm feeling fully rested. Didn't go to the gym, obviously, to lift weights. Tomorrow is going to be the final day of the split and the final episode of the series, which is arms and abs. So make sure you tune in for that one. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. It'd be much appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already, and I will see you in a couple of days.